Hi everybody, this is Senthil S. Kumar, Large Deal Specialist. Today we will focus on 100 billion plus global business potential in the software services industry. Software services, I just categorized into the verticals and the regions these companies are concentrated on and the application landscape. This is based on my experience in handling the deals from these companies, but some of the typical application landscape will be like this only. Most of the companies, because healthcare and life sciences, if you see, it is predominantly in US, Europe and UK, and the typical landscape will be SAP, Oracle, SFDC, Workday. And in healthcare and life sciences you will see a lot of custom applications. That is why I mark 1000, because in other clients it may be 1600 or 2000 also, and based on the clientele as well as the vendor you will see it. And it's a highly regulated and compliance focused sector where you need to be aware of the compliances and the regulation requirements which you need to adhere to it, kind of. So next is the gas energy utility, and again US, UK, Europe tops, and typical landscape is SAP, Oracle, JDA, IFS, JDA, SFDC, kind of. The reason I'm putting only the top COTS is this is the one which runs, or the core system runs on these ERPs or these COTS products, whereas the many SaaS and other applications will be getting integrated based on the need, and the custom applications will be coming in. And of course plenty of SaaS platforms are coming in. So if you, for example, manufacturing and automobile, a lot of SaaS packages are used in addition to SAP, JDA, IFS, JDE, kind of. And again, manufacturing and automobile concentrated in US, Europe and Japan. Aerospace, US and Europe is a predominant area where you can see these typical application life cycle like Info, SAP, IFS, Epico, Deltek, Oracle, Dynamics 365, kind of. Of course, some of the companies and the top company names we will see in the subsequent slides. Retail, US, APAC and Europe. And the application landscape will be Oracle, Dynamics 365, SAP, Epico, Blue and Info, Manhattan, kind of. I just capture only the top 5 or 6. There will be plenty, at least 50 to 100 will come as an application landscape for each and every vertical, where it is more or less similar application packages are used across their different companies of the same vertical, kind of. I just captured only 5 to 10 which is predominant and core, kind of. Banking and insurance and financial services, US, Europe and APAC, and Oracle, SAP, FlexCube, NetSuite, JDE. These kind of applications you will be seeing in these verticals. And food and beverages, US, APAC, Europe, and SAP, Oracle, SFDCs, Dynamics are the predominant applications you will see. Transportation and logistics, US and APAC, and SAP, Oracle, SFDC, Dynamics 365 you will see. Construction industry is predominantly in Europe, APAC and US, and it's SAP, IFS, JDE, Oracle. You will be in a position to see this kind of application landscape. And the business potential or renewals or a new business. Renewals means it's going to be on the support services, where it will be 3 plus 1 plus 1 or 5 plus 1 plus 1, 3 years or 5 years or 7 years contract, where these companies will sign off. So if you look at the vertical healthcare and life sciences, the huge potential is there, and these are the top companies. Like Pfizer is having 100 billion plus, and J&J followed, and Roche, Merck, Abbott, Novartis, BMS, Sanofi, AstraZeneca, GSK. These are all top companies. There are plenty of companies in the healthcare and life sciences, and IT outsourcing potential will be 80 billion plus. It's not only for this 10, it will be hundreds of companies for the entire vertical. I have listed it out. 80 billion plus as a minimum IT services potential for you to concentrate and focus on healthcare and life sciences. Gas, energy, utility, of course, it's a high revenue generating companies like Saudi Aramco and 1.7 trillion, and Exxon, Chevron, Shell, Total Energies, PetroChina, BP, Equinor. These are the top 10 companies only. There are plenty of companies in this area, and I have not covered Many of the popular companies in these listings I just taken based on the level of revenue and positioned it, but there are hundreds of companies and the business potential covering across all it will be minimum 90 billion plus on this area. Manufacturing and automobile, these are the top outsourcers like Toyota, Apple, Volkswagen, Samsung, Foxconn, Daimler, Honda, Mitsubishi, Ford, and 60 billion US dollars will be the minimum potential in this area. And again, it is a growing area. Many popular companies are there. There will be hundreds of companies are there. So if there will be a concentrated effort, if you put on the vertical wise focus, you should be in a position to capitalize on this. Aerospace, again, Airbus comes first, then the Boeing, then the other groups I have listed it out. These are all top 10 only. There are plenty, and it is having a very good potential of 40 billion plus. And on the moving on to the communication and technology, I have just listed only the top companies: AT&T, Verizon, Comcast, Nippon, T-Mobile, Vodafone kind of. And again, communication technology is itself, it's a big vertical where you have a good generation potential of $60 billion plus revenue, which you will be in a position to generate in the IT services. Food and beverages, Nestle, Hershey, Kraft, but of course I have missed out Pepsi, Cola, and other things, but listed out based on the top level revenues. So it is having a potential of $30 billion plus. Transportation and logistics is also a one more vertical where you can encash on your IT services like UPS, FedEx, railways of many, and postal departments of many governments are coming. As far as the revenue is concerned, popular companies are missed out here, but based on the revenue, the top 10 is listed over here, and you will be in a position to get the business potential of 30 plus billion. And many of these companies are under the renewal or a modernization roadmap presently, where you will be in a position to earn a lot of IT services contracts in the coming years. Construction, of course, many of these companies are known to you, and it is a Europe dominated area, and again other areas is also there, and it is having a 10 plus billion dollar, which is growing potential in this area. So this is based on my experience and expertise, which I have listed out the business potential on the application services, infrastructure, asset management kind of. But lot more business potential can be explored if you focused on the specific KPIs as well as unique differentiator for those areas. You will be in a position to get entry and close large deals in this area. Thank you.